Hi everyone, are you curious about real conversations that matter in today's financial world? Welcome to the Expert Circle, जहां आपको मिलता है एक front row view about the conversations that really matter in today's financial world. At LenDenClub, we believe that हर strong portfolio के पीछे होता है एक strong wealth advisor. So today we'll be talking to those storytellers who will tell us about their journeys, their experiences और ये insights जो सच में काम आते हैं आज के financial world में. Let's get started. Mr. Nagda, welcome. Let's start off with the basics. Tell us a little bit about yourself और आपकी journey financial services में कैसे शुरू हुई?
Great. See, now I have already spent more than 25 years in financial services, and I was lucky to work with one of the most respected companies like Motilal Oswal, Alchemy Capital, NJ India Invest, and I was lucky to work on senior roles where I was instrumental in developing their product development and investment advisory. And doing that work, I got an insight about markets, client behaviors, and that actually helped me understanding this industry very, very well.
Yeah.
And that's how I started my wealth journey.
Of course, you've got a lot of experience from all the work, but what really inspired you to get into wealth management? Or can you tell us a little bit more about investment advisory or आपका business in specific कैसे evolve हुआ है over time?
So, while I was working with all these corporates and I was traveling across the country and meeting all sets of investors, one thing I found it very common across everybody was financial illiteracy is widespread in our country, and even in the well educated and professionals. And that's where I realized that people may be earning much, much better, but their well being, financial well being, is not there. So there is a gap between income and financial well being. So this actually helped me in understanding better client behavior, and that's how I started my wealth journey. And I felt a strong calling to start my own venture, and that's how I formed a company called Family First Capital. And we are not only financial advisors, but we are family economists. We don't want people to just make or help them make money. We want them to understand it, respect it, and create it a tool to make it a security and for their freedom in life.
You know, they say कि long term wealth creation के लिए asset allocation is the backbone. ये phrase आपका, you know, what do you think it actually means? इसका मतलब क्या होता है?
So मेरे हिसाब से asset allocation is the only thing that can create wealth in long term. Now, asset allocation means what? In simple word, asset allocation is diversifying your asset into different non-correlated assets like equity, debt, gold, currency, and maybe cash for that matter. So once you do asset allocation, you are actually reducing the volatility in your portfolio. And every asset has its own time and risk reward parameters. So if anybody who is following asset allocation over long term, we have seen that real wealth is created following the asset allocation.
आपके ख्याल से इन्वेस्टर्स एलोकेशन का इम्पोर्टेंस क्यों मिस कर देते हैं, एंड व्हाट इज द मैसेजिंग दैट यू वांट टू सेंड अक्रॉस?
Very good question. According to me, we are living in a FOMO world. Fear of missing out is the biggest thing that makes or drives investors to whatever is trending. So whatever is in trending or is generating high returns, people tend to go towards that. Forgetting that the real wealth can only be created by asset allocation and patience. And also we are living in a world where so much of information is overflowing, and lack of awareness about asset allocation and overflow of all this social media information is actually making people to invest or chase return rather than doing a proper asset allocation.
So since you're emphasizing so much on asset allocation, आप अपने investors के लिए asset allocation कैसे करते हो? What is the thought process and what is the investment mantra that you have?
So since very beginning, I am an advocator of asset allocation. And one of the most important thing that I have realized that throughout my life, I have done only asset allocation. So what we have done is we have created a unique asset allocation tool in our organization. It is a proprietary tool, and we believe that each individual is unique. हर आदमी यूनिक है, सबकी रिस्क टेकिंग एबिलिटी अलग अलग है, और सबकी ज़रूरतें अलग हैं। तो आपका एक प्लान सबको फिट नहीं हो सकता है। सो अकॉर्डिंग टू मी, everybody should have their unique asset allocation based on the risk appetite and also capability of taking risk. When I say capability of taking risk is a very important thing. If assuming the person is even aggressive, that doesn't mean you allocate everything to equity or a risky asset class, because if the liability is so high that he is not able to save so much, or in the time of volatility he is not able to get out of that particular asset class, then what will happen? He will not able to follow the asset allocation throughout. So we realize this particular thing, and we do a lot of emphasis on risk appetite, risk taking capability. What unique thing that we are also doing is, हमने जितने भी फाइनेंशियल प्रोडक्ट्स हैं हमारे देश में, उसको हमने रिस्क कैटेगरी में डिवाइड किया हुआ है.
Okay.
And each risk category is telling us something, what is a volatility and what is a return that is expected. So any client that comes to us, we first do risk analysis, capability checking, and then we do asset allocation. But we still don't go to product. We then do sub asset allocation, and based on the different risk products that we have allocated into different buckets, then the products are chosen.
Okay.
So it is not product and asset allocation, it is asset allocation, sub asset allocation, and then product.
अंडरस्टूड. अब जब हम रिसेंटली हमने मार्केट में देखा है काफ़ी वॉलेटिलिटी हो रही है, तो अकॉर्डिंग टू यू व्हाट इज द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ अ डिसिप्लिन फॉर्म ऑफ इन्वेस्टिंग इन टाइम सच एज दीज?
सो डिसिप्लिन इन्वेस्टमेंट ही ऐसी चीज है, या एनीथिंग इफ यू टेक in our life also, discipline plays a very important role.
Yeah.
Anything that we do with discipline, we normally succeed. So जो भी अगर हम इन्वेस्टमेंट्स में अगर इस चीज़ को यूज़ करें, तो सक्सेसफुल इन्वेस्टर और बाकी सब में अगर एक चीज़ डिफरेंस करती है, तो वो होती है डिसिप्लिन. इफ अ पर्सन इज डिसिप्लिन्ड, he will stay to or true to his strategic asset allocation, and he will follow through the market volatility. See, market will go up, market will go down, it's their nature. But what is the most difficult thing for a person is, in this volatile time, their behavior actually becomes their enemy. When the market is falling, and there is a noise around, they will take, they are tend to take, if their behavior is not right, they are tend to take a wrong decision, where they will sell something which should not be sold at that point in time, or in the time of bullish phase they will chase high returns without understanding the risk. So if people want to create real wealth, they need to be disciplined in their investment.
Yes.
They need to stick to their asset allocation. Just take an example of SIP, a very simple word of SIP. Anybody who have done SIP in last 25 years have generated exorbitant wealth.
Yes.
Not normal, exorbitant wealth. Now in this 25 years, we have seen all type of volatilities, wars, scams, assassination of prime minister, COVID, everything. But instead, if anybody who is disciplined and stayed throughout this journey, have
Yeah.
created substantial wealth.
Absolutely. अकॉर्डिंग टू यू ये ऑल्टरनेटिव एसेट इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑप्शंस जैसे P2P लेंडिंग में आपको आपके ख्याल से अभी इंटरेस्ट हो रहा है? व्हाट इज द व्यू ऑफ इन्वेस्टर्स? आर दे इज देयर ग्रोइंग इंटरेस्ट नाउ?
So P2P lending is relatively a new asset class that is in creation, and slowly awareness is coming up. But हम जब P2P की बात करते हैं, तो नॉर्मली वेल इन्फॉर्म्ड और डिजिटली सेवी इन्वेस्टर्स को पता है P2P के बारे में. स्लोली एंड स्टेडली दिस पर्टिकुलर asset class is growing, because it is, people want to diversify from the traditional assets of equity and debt. But at the same time, people should realize that this should not form a core portfolio.
Yeah.
This should be the part of their satellite portfolio till the time they understand all the risk and other thing. Because in P2P, you have a credit risk and the liquidity risk. So one need to understand that and make it part of the overall strategy.
Okay.
So slowly, I think as ecosystem is maturing, P2P lending is also more awareness is created about P2P, and I think over a period of time we'll see success of P2P lending.
Absolutely, we are seeing growing interest as well. Or you have, a partnership with the LenDenClub. Tell us a little bit more about how that's worked for you. What is the importance in P2P lending to have this kind of a union?
सो सबसे पहले तो हमने जब लेन देन क्लब के साथ पार्टनरशिप चालू की, तो what drew me towards LinkedIn was their structured approach towards P2P or this business. The tech that they have created, the technology that they have created is really out of the, मतलब it is one of the best in the country. जब भी हम कोई नया प्रोडक्ट सजेस्ट करते हैं हमारे इन्वेस्टर्स को, तो वी डू अ गुड अमाउंट ऑफ ड्यू डिलिजेंस, and at the same time we ensure that our own money is first invested. We check everything. If that particular product clears that particular test, then only it finds a place in our recommendation list. With the recent changes made by RBI, we have seen that more trust is being created, and being a regulated entity or a product is obviously is we have seen that over a period of time it thrives. But so many changes need to be done in the system.
Yeah.
And that's where we find that only LenDen Club could able to do all the changes in their system and become a fully compliant by RBI process, where other people couldn't able to or are in process of doing that.
Yes.
And that's where our relationship with LenDen have grown a step further.
एब्सोल्युटली एंड आई थिंक इन्वेस्टर्स को ये P2P कॉन्सेप्ट समझाने में शायद थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट होगा, तो हाउ डू यू सिंप्लीफाई इट? व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज P2P lending if you were to explain to someone?
आपकी बात बहुत सच है। P2P लेंडिंग समझने में लोगों को बहुत दिक्कत आती है, पर्टिकुलरली इट्स अ कॉम्प्लेक्स प्रोडक्ट ऑल टुगेदर। बट हम जब किसी इन्वेस्टर को समझाते हैं तो हम उसे बताते हैं कि दिस इज ट्रीट इट लाइक अ मिनी बैंक। जैसे बैंक आपसे पैसा लेती है और लैंड करती है, इंटरेस्ट कमाती है और आपको थोड़ा सा इंटरेस्ट देती है, और वॉट एवर इज देयर अर्निंग, जो भी उसमें बीच में पैसे बचते हैं वो उनकी अर्निंग है। तो P2P प्लेटफॉर्म है, आप लेंडर हैं, आप जैसे पैसे देते हैं अलग अलग लोगों को, इन्वेस्टर्स को छोटे छोटे टुकड़ों में लोन दी जाती है। वो लोन से जो भी पैसा आता है वो आपकी इनकम हो जाती है और प्लेटफॉर्म अपनी फीस ले लेता है। तो जिस तरीके से आप अपने आप को एक मिनी बैंक समझिए कि आपको छोटे छोटे पीसेस में इन्वेस्टमेंट्स कर रहे हैं। या आप इसको और तरीके से अगर हम समझाना चाहें तो आप जब लेन देन क्लब के थ्रू P2P में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, आप ऐसा समझिए कि आपने, जैसे म्यूचुअल फंड में बहुत सारे डेट इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स होते हैं, आपने यहाँ पर बहुत सारे बोरोवर्स को चूज किया है, और हाइपर डिवर्सिफिकेशन के कारण आजकल रिस्क बहुत कम हो गया है। द ओनली थिंग इज दैट कि अगर आपने, उस प्लेटफॉर्म ने आपको सही तरीके से रिस्क को डिवाइड कर दिया है, तो आपको चांसेस है कि बेटर रिटर्न्स मिल सकते हैं विथ बेटर लिक्विडिटी।
ओके। और लेन देन क्लब ने आपको किस तरह सपोर्ट दिया है? आपका एसोसिएशन कैसा रहा है अब तक? और कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्ड करने में कितना हेल्प किया है इन्वेस्टर्स में?
P2P लेंडिंग, और हम लेन देन की पर्टिकुलरली बात करें तो बिकॉज दिस पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट इज इन द नेशन स्टेज, ट्रेनिंग और अवेयरनेस सबसे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है। तो LenDen Club is always there to train us, train our team also, keeps updating about regulation, what is happening, and understanding the regulation. See, what is important is there are many regulations that are there, and not everybody is studying or understanding all the regulation in the way it need to be. So LenDen Club has helped us in terms of interpreting the RBI regulations in much more deep way, and at the same time their RMs keep visiting us, updating us about the company, updating us what's happening in the overall industry, and helps us create awareness whenever we want to create or do a client event.
क्या आपके पास कोई ऐसी स्टोरी है जहां एक स्ट्रॉन्ग एसेट एलोकेशन स्ट्रेटजी ने एक क्लाइंट को बहुत हेल्प किया है? एनी सक्सेस स्टोरीज?
Yeah, and this is very close to my heart.
Okay.
So this story goes back to 2018. We do a lot of investor awareness programs and financial awareness program. So एक बहुत बड़े corporate में I went and gave this investor awareness program, and I met one gentleman who exchanged my cards, and we just had a small chat. Fast forward 2019, he was on a deathbed, and he called his wife and their children and gave my contact details and said, after if something happens to me, whatever uh, money that you will receive, that is gratuity, life insurance, and all those, please go to Mr. Rupesh and take guidance about how to do a retirement planning. And then, obviously, after his death, family reached out to us. We had a meeting in our office, a very long meeting, understanding what happened, what is their financial conditions at this point of time. मीटिंग में जब उन्होंने मुझे बताया कि नो दिस इज द ओनली सेविंग्स दैट इज रिक्वायर्ड, दिस दैट इज लेफ्ट एंड नीड टू बी इन्वेस्टेड इन सच अ वे दैट कि उनका हाउस होल्ड का जो एक्सपेंडिचर है वो प्रॉपर चले हो जाए, बच्चों का सपोर्ट जो आगे करना है वो उनके गोल्स जो हैं वो पूरे कर सकें। तो हमने उनके साथ काफ़ी समय बिता करके बहुत अच्छे से हमने प्लानिंग की। पहले उनका प्रोटेक्शन प्लानिंग किया, क्योंकि उनके पास कोई भी आफ्टर वो जो जेंटलमैन थे जो कॉर्पोरेट में काम करते थे, उनकी डेथ के बाद वो कॉर्पोरेट का जो इंश्योरेंस था अब वो नहीं रहा। तो हमने उनके लिए पहले प्रोटेक्शन प्लानिंग में मेडिकल इंश्योरेंस लिया, फिर इमरजेंसी फंड्स क्रिएट किए, एंड देन वी मेड असेट एलोकेशन इन सच ए वे कि उनको एवरी मंथ ऑन मंथ उनके घर चलाने का खर्चा सही तरीके से मिलते रहे। एंड देन कोविड हिट अस एंड दैट emergency fund that we created for them and the medical expenditure, medical insurance that we took for them really helped them in terms of passing through that particular passage of time. And then in 2021, when the market recovered, everything went well. Even after paying monthly returns to them, their overall portfolio value also increased. And then that lady wanted to buy a house next to their children.
Okay.
So again, we did a lot of planning and ensured that this particular transition should happen in such a way that there should not be more burden on her finances. And today, she has bought a new house, living just beside their children, and at the same time, she is getting monthly returns to take care of their household expenditure.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that story. And आपको क्या लगता है कि टेक्नोलॉजी एसेट एलोकेशन और इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसिप्लिन को इन्वेस्टर्स के लिए कितना इजी बना रहा है?
मुझे लगता है कि टेक्नोलॉजी इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, एंड टेक्नोलॉजी के बिना सही तरीके से हम इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लानिंग नहीं कर सकते। टेक्नोलॉजी इज़ एक्चुअली रीशेपिंग द वे इन्वेस्टर इज़ एंगेजिंग विथ मनी, एंड एज एन एडवाइज़र we are guiding them. So we have invested in robust technology. पहले क्या होता था कि आपने डिफरेंट इन्वेस्टमेंट्स किए हैं, आपको कोई कंसोलिडेटेड व्यू नहीं मिलता था। अब हमने ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी बनाई है जिसमें इन्वेस्टर, उसका डेट हो, बॉन्ड्स हो, इक्विटी हो, म्यूचुअल फंड्स हो, वी ट्राई टू गिव देम अ कंसोलिडेटेड व्यू। वी एंड कस्टमर को तो जो उनको देखना है वो रिपोर्ट सब मिल जाती हैं, but at the same time to keep guiding them with the right asset allocation and the overall investment solutions, we also need to track that regularly. So हमने ऐसा सिस्टम बनाया है जिससे, और ऐसी एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी है जिससे हमें असेट एलोकेशन के अलर्ट्स पहले से मिल जाते हैं। सी असेट एलोकेशन में सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ होती है कि आफ्टर डूइंग असेट एलोकेशन, रीबैलेंसिंग इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। नॉट मैनी पीपल डू दैट। उन लोग ने एक फन टाइम असेट एलोकेशन कर लिया एंड देन इट कीप्स ऑन जस्ट रोलिंग आउट, बट व्हाट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम वन असेट विल डू बेटर, अदर असेट विल डू नॉर्मल, or there would be a differential returns between all the asset classes. So yearly rebalancing exercise, or whenever there is a run up that happens in one particular asset class, need to be rebalanced.
Okay.
And you cannot do rebalancing for so many clients without a proper technology.
Absolutely.
So according to me, without technology, it's too difficult to really work at this point in time.
Absolutely. And we've seen so much growth in technology which has helped leverage this growth. Finally, in one sentence, if you had to sum up your asset allocation strategy or your investment strategy, what would it be?
So according to me, stay true to your asset allocation, stay disciplined to your asset allocation, and wealth will come to you.
Okay. On that very positive note, we'll wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing with us your journey, which has been nothing short of inspirational, the kind of association you have with LenDen, and of course, the importance of alternate investing like P2P. Lovely to have you.
Thank you very much.